Final round is this simple, folks. 10,000 points to the winner. 0 points of a loser. It's a great equalizer in this 8 o'clock spot tournament and an opportunity for some of the people trailing the leaders to get back into this tournament. Let's move to Anthony Edwards, who quite simply had I don't think that's debatable, the dunk of the season. We'll argue about, where it was all time, but here's a video. Anthony Edwards last night against the Utah Jazz on John Collins.
Not attempt in that first half. Another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it back!
John Collins was actually went to concussion protocol after that, by the way. So that's just a man put a guy in the locker room hurt himself, by the way, hurt his finger on the dunk. Anthony Edwards, we've heard some of the comparisons. I think the Jordan stuff, let's not go too far. He's not Michael, just because there's some resemblance in his game. Heck, and even his facial features to Michael Jordan. He's not and MJ. Let's slow down. That said, I will ask you first and foremost, Mike Guido, was that the greatest dunk of all time?
So this is going to be my greatest take of all time. I'm just letting you know. No, it is not the best dunk of all time. I still think that the best in-game dunk of all time was when Dr. J rocked the baby in '83. That, I think, was that was ridiculous. Because it wasn't even just the dunk. It was the gather that made it so great. That's the first thing. Here's the second thing. I also think that it's not the best dunk ever because Blake Griffin did a very similar thing on Timofey Mozgov in 2010. That's also another thing. Here's the other thing. Anthony Edwards did not dunk the basketball. It was a layup. Okay? It was a layup. Here's the thing. Anthony Edwards threw the ball into the basket. Not once did he come in contact with the rim. He did not push the ball down into the basket. He threw it into the basket. We've seen tall NBA players, right? 7-footers, big men, have their hand above the rim and just lightly tap it in, or lightly lay it into the basket, right? We've seen Jokic do it. We've seen Gobert do it. Do those count as dunks? No, they're layups. Just because this one was a little bit more aggressive doesn't make it a dunk. So I will die on the hill saying that not only is Anthony Edwards' dunk not the best dunk ever, it's not a dunk. It's a layup.
Wow. That's something. By the way, the Dr. J dunk, I do agree with that. Of course, I think that's the best NBA dunk. I think Vince Carter in the Olympics is the greatest dunk ever.
I mean,
I know.
So
yeah.
iconic.
Yeah, no, it is. And Dr. J, that's one of his greatest plays. I think the greatest in-game dunk, we'll move to Tim, is the Vince Carter dunk in the Olympics. I think that was just nasty. And Vince Carter is, I think we'd all agree here, the greatest in-game dunker of all time. To you, Tim, greatest dunk of all time or no? Is it, by the way, is it a dunk?
Well, damn you, Mike, because that was my effing take. That was not a dunk. That was not a dunk. Are you effing kidding me? How the hell did you come up with that?
Let's see what you do with the take. Let's see if you make the better case, Tim.
Well, no, I can sit here and I agree. I was ready, rock the cradle, let's go. And then I even had Vince Carter posterizing Alonzo Mourning in 2005 when Carter was with the Nets. And so that's where I was and you want to talk about even dunks. How about Aaron Gordon against the Celtics 2 weeks ago in Denver? The alley-oop that he got from Jokic was to pretty much end the game.
Yep.
It was wild. So I agree. It wasn't a dunk because at the end of the day, you have to put the ball through the net. Your hands have to hit the rim. As soon as I saw that still image of the ball here, the rim here, and his hand here, I'm like, that's not a dunk. I'm sorry. He threw the ball. I wouldn't so much to say that it's a layup, but I would say he threw the friggin' ball. Almost like he could have thrown it from his own end there. I was just again, that to me was absolutely not a dunk by any stretch of the imagination. And was it a great moment? Sure. I think it also goes to show that he put the guy in concussion protocol. I wonder if that was, I couldn't tell if it was concussion protocol because he's truly concussed or he's just super embarrassed about what the hell happened to him. And so he's like, hey, Doc, something's not right upstairs here. Can we just go? Can I be out for the next couple weeks here? So that was absolutely not a dunk.
Okay, well and then I'll announce the winner. Can we agree he was posterized?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, see, that's different to me. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
definitely.
Well, we want to talk about posterizing. Vince Carter, Alonzo Mourning. I brought that up. So
that was the meanest poster I've seen since when Carmelo Anthony posterized Paul Millsap. That was, when he did the "I'm back," like, oh my God, it was mean.
You remember Aaron Gordon on Christmas a couple of years ago? I think it was against the Dolphins, or no, it might have been Phoenix. They were playing. It was a late Christmas Day game, so everybody on the East Coast was asleep. But he absolutely hammered. And by the way, Aaron Gordon should have 2 dunk contest championships. He was better than Zach LaVine. He was better than whoever the guy that won it in 2020 was. Okay. Both of y'all agreed. Both of y'all made great takes. If this was like the regular format of the 8 o'clock spot, I'd give both y'all great takes right now, but there can be only one champion, the 8 o'clock spot. And the winner, the 8 o'clock spot, as we dial up the victory music, Tim Barnard breaks through and gets the first 8 o'clock spot championship. Grid Network. What's the celebration? Bring it in. Come on. There it is. Like Steve Young, the monkey is off your back. Tim, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I feel great, but I'm sorry. That might have been a little bit given. Because I'm sorry, Bryson. You're a great host. Maybe you were a little off with some of your words tonight. Maybe you muted yourself. I don't know, but I am definitely thankful for finally getting a 10K, but I'm a little like, okay, I can't wait until I go against Mike and Barry. That would be a fun one.
This is like his bubble championship. This is like his Mickey Mouse title. Is that how it feels to him? It's a Mickey Mouse championship.
The fact that we both agreed that was not a dunk in the first place.
I'll be honest. Okay. I thought me coming in with that was going to, Bryson was going to say, it doesn't matter what Tim says, you lose. It was going to be oh my God.
Can I tell you what the deciding factor was, Mike?
Please.
What?
Tim and I agree. It wasn't a layup. That wasn't no dang layup. Stop it. That was not a freak. That was not just going up and laying it off the glass. Come on now. That wasn't no layup.
Hold on a minute. I know that layup, for a play like that, layup almost sounds like it's derogatory. I understand that.
It is derogatory.
However, what else is it then? If it's not a dunk, yeah.
Poster.
So what? You're going to invent a new shot? You're going to throw shot?
I'm just saying, it's a poster. Again, we all agree that he put him on a poster, and that will be shown for years to come.
It's a layup. It's a layup. If you wrote it in the box score, it's a layup. Unless you thought it was a dunk. If it was a dunk, you wrote it as a dunk. If it wasn't a dunk, you'd be forced to say it's a layup because it's not a jump shot.